Broncos country, what's going on? Sean Payton has fired our special teams coach, Ben Kotwica. I agree with this, and I'll break it down as to why I'm totally okay with this. Y'all be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that subscribe. We're on our way to 2,200 subscribers, and we got some more NFL draft content coming as well. But let's go ahead. I want to share my screen. We can talk about all this. Boom. Zach Seegers, Ian Rappaport. Let's read it. Ian Rappaport said the Broncos have fired special teams coach Ben Kotwica. Sources tell me with the Saints interim coach Darren Rizzi available, that's quickly named. That would make sense for Sean Payton. Then he goes on to say, would imagine that they speak with him. And Zach Seegers, my friend from Let's Talk Broncos, go subscribe to them, said pretty surprised by this move considering how much the special teams improved the last 2 seasons. That said, there were some glaring mistakes, particularly down the stretch. And yeah, I think, didn't you see Mike Westhoff, who was kind of overseeing special teams, like over Ben Kotwica, uh, step away after or retire after the whole Kansas City debacle with the field goal being blocked? And then the details came out and said, yeah, they identified for weeks that Andrew Forsyth was weak on that block. Why didn't we get there? And yeah, that cost us a substantial win. Granted, we still made the playoffs, but yeah, I think we would have had a different opponent had we been able to get that win against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Likely, y'all correct me if I'm wrong on that. I could be wrong on that, but also let's talk about the Chargers game. How many times do we see Tremont Smith just run into the dude or interfere with catching the punts? The fact that it set up that weird field goal kick there at the end to where they were able to steal all the momentum from us going into the second half. While special teams was greatly improved since Sean Payton was being here, again, we've had terrible special teams play in Denver for a long time. You can't have those back-breaking mistakes happen in the special teams department to where I, it made the difference in wins and losses. I think for 2 to 3 of our losses right now in this season. And special teams, granted, Marvin Mims had another really good year. Aside from that, I think that there was a lot to be desired in just the consistency of what you want to see from this play. You should never have a field goal block in the way that it was blocked this past year. No. And yeah, so I totally agree with this. I like it, especially guys, with Darren Rizzi being available, interim head coach for the New Orleans Saints, longtime special teams coach, worked for Sean Payton a ton throughout New Orleans, his time in New Orleans. I would love to bring him out here. There was a comment here on Twitter, and I'll bring this up. Credit to Mark Lauderdale for saying this. Said Chris Banjo is getting a promotion. That's what this move feels like. Zach Seeger said, I thought the same thing. He is our assistant special teams coach. He's been on staff for a little while. Hey, Sean Baldwin, friend of the show, said specifically after Mike Westhoff stepped away after that Kansas City game. Yeah, we had some back-breaking mistakes on special teams. And again, it just felt like we were making dumb penalties. Again, it was cool to see us execute that fake punt, in the playoff game. But at the end of the day, I think once Mike Westhoff stepped away, that was an indication that things probably weren't going as planned with how special teams, that the whole coaching was working together. And yeah, just uproot this thing. I think DMAC was saying earlier this morning that Mike Westhoff and Ben Kotwica were a package deal initially, but once Mike Westhoff retired, stepped away, that there was no longer any added loyalty to Kotwica. So we'll see where we move on from here. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and bring in Darren Rizzi. Again, special teams. It's something that I have high standards for, that I'm very particular about. There just were some inconsistencies and back-breaking mistakes and plays from our unit this year. But again, big time improvement I'm gonna credit Mike Westhoff with most of that, though. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I like this move, and we'll see where the Denver Broncos go from here. Hopefully, it means Darren Rizzi's on his way to Denver. So, guys, I'll be back again. More film rooms coming. Maybe Luther Burden this weekend. We'll have to see. Have a wonderful Friday. Go Broncos.